cord to the, don't want the companion. All right, good in the back?
Okay, everybody good?
Take it
All
away.
right, so my name's Ron Shinall. I'm a software writer at a company called Higher Pixels based out of Florida. We're officially all 100% remote. So fortunately, last year or 2.5 years ago, almost 3 years ago, I relocated out to Colorado and here I am. So love being here. I love being here with you guys at Boulder Root. It's a lot of fun. So I'm going to talk about Jujutsu. I'm just doing a quick lightning talk, so like 5 minutes or whatever, and then Joel's going to do the real presentation. So is anybody else using JJ? Oh, all right. One. That makes two of us. How long have you been using it?
6 months, maybe?
Okay, I'm like at that like 6 or 8 month point, something like that too. So it's a version control system. And what's the deal with it? Like, why even bother with it? So, and first of all, I'm nerding out on a terminal-based presentation, so you guys get to enjoy that too. For me, it's just like it's freedom to move around in the code without any encumbrances. Like, you don't have to stash anything. You don't have to stop what you're doing, take an action to like work on something that's just come up that needs to be addressed. So it's really easy to just move around in the code. It is a branchless workflow, which at first I'm like, what? Like, how's that even work? But it actually reduces a lot of friction because you don't have to think about what am I going to call this branch, and like, is my coworker going to know what that means? It is kind of funny though, because all of my commits have these weird named branches that no one else can relate to. But who looks at a branch name? You're looking at a commit description or the pull request itself or something like that. So I like the fact that it's branchless now that I'm used to it. It is standalone, so you can use it as its own version control system, but it actually uses Git behind the scenes. So if you set it up as a co-located repo, it doesn't affect your normal workflow. So like all of my coworkers use Git, they don't use JJ. We don't have any interoperability problems because everything behind the scenes is going to Git just like it would normally. But the face that I work with is much easier to deal with and a lot simpler, in my opinion. So like I said at the beginning, no more Git add everything and stashing it and moving over to something else. It's much more fluid than that. Every rebase succeeds. So there can be errors, there can be conflicts, but it doesn't, the red light doesn't start flashing and stop you in your tracks. You're like, oh my God, I can't do anything until I sort this out. So that's nice that you can just merge whatever you need to merge or rebase whatever you need to rebase. And then if you've got to sort something out, you can do it later, but it doesn't prevent you from continuing on with your work. You can easily resolve that stuff with their built-in tool, just by calling JJ resolve. If you want to pass that to your own like tool, like I use Meld most of the time, you can just hand that as an argument to the resolve command, and it'll pop that right into your chosen tool for resolving the conflicts. JJ log is what it uses to represent your history and what you're doing with stuff. It looks great and it's really easy to understand. Again, just like everything about it is simple. There's no Git index. You could say that the log is similar to the index, but I think it's a lot easier to navigate. It is fast. It is written in Rust. So, I mean, there is that too.
It's written in C.
Yeah, exactly. Right. The classic. So I'll give you just a couple of little examples on stuff, and then we'll turn it over to Joel. So, like I said, it can live side by side. So if you do a JJ init, JJ git init, not that one. It's a little bit of a lag. It's weird. So you just do a JJ git init collocate, and then that sets it up as basically a parallel version control system to work with Git. Again, all the Git stuff just happens without any conflicts or anything like that. So that's what the JJ log looks like. And you can see there's really only 2 branches on there right now. There's main at the bottom, and then there's push dash yada, yada, yada. So when you let it, you can give it a branch name if you want to. or you can just let it create its own branch name. So when it does its own branch name, as you see there, you'll notice that on the left-hand side, you've got this sort of a hash looking value over here, and then you've got the branch name, which starts with that same value there. So this would be the change ID for JJ, and then this is going to be the commit hash over here on this side. And you can reference all of this stuff with any of those values. So you can say, I can reference it by X, and for the one adding foo.text, I can reference it by calling it X, or I can reference it by the 8, because it's a unique value in the history that you're working with right here. So as you do more and more stuff, there'll be like 3 digits and 3 letters and things like that. But typically, I don't have to reference anything with more than like 3 letters, you know, because it just keeps everything nice and unique and succinct. So that's kind of what that looks like. And if you wanted to start working on something new, like currently the @ symbol says that I'm on the YS rev set. So their terminology is it's a revision or a rev set. Because again, it's a branchless workflow. So right now it's just a collection of changes. So if I wanted to start something new from where I'm at, you can just do JJ new YS. And so there you go. Now I'm working on a new set of changes based off of where I was on YS. And you'll also notice that there's like an @ and an @ dash there, and that you can again reference everything with that. So I can take actions based on that @ minus or the YS or the, you know, whatever else in there. So again, it's just really, really easy to deal with. Yeah. And then let me do the rebase on that to introduce a conflict. So I had set up branches with conflicts. And so it notifies you that there's a conflict if that happens. But again, I'm not stopped from doing anything. Like I have rebased it with the conflicts, and I can keep moving forward with my work. I can go work on other files. I can do whatever I need to. And then if I wanted to address that issue, oh, sorry, I got to do JJ new on that one. You set up a new revision from where the conflict is, and then you can go in and resolve it. My resolve tool is not showing up because I'm not sharing that window. So let me try to get out of that window real quick. No, it's not going to show it there. But it pops it into your resolve tool, or of course you can just open it in your editor, and it shows you where all the issues are, and you can just manually edit it in your editor if you want to, and then move on with your work after that once you resolve the conflict. So I'll kind of leave it at that. Like, you know, we could do a whole talk on the workflow with JJ and how to use it and all that, but I find it very fluid, very easy to work with. And it's just like nothing gets in the way of working on code. It's really easy to come in and out of things. And you can do, you see where I've got like the descriptions and whatnot here. So you can just have a nice verbose description, which will become your commit message once you actually push that up to Git. So again, not thinking about branch names, it's like, what am I working on? I just give it a name, and then when I'm ready to commit it to a branch and push it forward, then, you know, I do the rest of the process for the PR. So there you have it, JJ in a few minutes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Questions?
I just started using Git work trees to have like a bunch of agents, like, does this eliminate the need for work trees? Since you said it's like it's branchless, like you just.
I mean, I would say that's probably a fair statement. Like, I've never used work trees. I haven't had to use work trees,
Yeah.
but based on what I've seen with work trees, I mean, I would think it is a good replacement for the need.
Could I have 2 separate locations where I'm running agents independently with JJ?
Yes.
Or you can, okay.
Okay. I think it's basically the same thing as a Git work tree.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
create a copy of your thing, but it points at the original repo on disk or whatever, so you can have 2 parallel
Okay.
things happening.
And I still have separate, correct?
In separate directories, yes.
When you ran that, was it new, towards the end, you ran a command, JJ new
It was,
YX?
Oh, yeah.
How did you pick the YX? What was that?
it was one of the little first 2 letters of one of the change IDs.
Oh, one of the existing change IDs.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yeah,
you weren't
so I was
making
saying,
a new ID at that.
Correct, yeah, so like if I wanted to start something from the main branch, I would just do JJ new main, and then it's starting from the main branch at that point, and then you can just keep branching off from there. Oh, one of the other thing I didn't show, which is really cool, is that it's really easy to split your work. So if you get deep into it, let's say you're doing something with a database migration, and you get down, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna pull the database migration, the schema out into a separate PR, like you can just go in and just run a command and split it, pull it apart, and then that's done. Like, it's just very seamless and easy to just move things around, so.
And is your backend always Git, or is there?
Yeah.
It is, okay,
Mhm.
so it's kind of like a power tool front end on top. of
Exactly,
Git.
yeah, exactly. I mean, and like I said, you don't have to use it with Git, but I mean, kind of who's not using Git at this point,
What
so.
would you use it with if you're not using it, just like a local?
MongoDB.
GPS.
Yeah, just.
RCS.
Right.
Visual source thing.
Yeah, it could be it's its own self-contained
Okay.
version control system,
Okay.
right?
It actually is still Git.
Yeah.
It's just, you can either choose to have it next, using the same Git repo, like in .git, so Git tools.
Yeah,
Or you can kind of hide all that away and like pretend it's its own thing. It is still effective Git under the hood. There is no alternative backend implementation unless you work with Google.
yeah, exactly, right. Because it started out as an internal Google tool that ended up getting enough support to where they made it a real thing. Yeah.
So as far as Git is concerned, you're always running in a detached end state. So some of the like prompt stuff can get weird, but otherwise like all your tools like, Visual Studio Code or whatever shows you, what changes, like it shows the changes in the code or like the normal things you'd expect from changes in Git. Just,
Yeah, exactly. So if you're doing anything in JJ, you just do like a git status, you're gonna see exactly what you would expect to see in git status, even though you're doing it all through JJ or,
it's just not attached to a Git branch.
Right, okay.
It's,
Yeah, until you choose to say, okay, now attach it to a branch and go ahead and push it up to the org.
So when you guys were learning how to use this group simultaneously, you just kind of see what was going on under the, like,
Well,
you
you
kind of like
have to-
translate and understand like, hey, I did this thing in JJ, but let me just do Git status and see like kind of actually what it did, or is that?
Well,
Is it
but
helpful or is it-
you end up seeing all the
Okay.
Git stuff, like, I mean,
Okay.
cause like, we do everything through GitHub, so like,
Right.
as soon as I'm done with my code and I push it to a branch, I'm interacting with normal Git stuff and
Okay.
GitHub and all that, so you still see it and know what's going on. But like, when I decided to use it, I was like,
Go.
I'm doing it all in JJ, like, if I get stuck, I'm gonna look up how to do it and figure out how to do it the JJ way.
And like, so what prompted like you start that journey?
I came across it somewhere, like, read an article about
I
it.
like, I saw it on GitHub or I came on Hacker News, but like, I was like, that looks cool, I'll start, but then like, that was it.
Yeah, like, they posted it somewhere, there was something, I think it may have been the branchless thing, I was like,
Okay.
branchless, like, what is, that's worth checking out, I think, and so, I experimented with it for like 5 minutes, I was like, oh yeah, I gotta
Yeah.
do this, so.
Would you say you like GitHub quite a bit and you recommend them?
The video to watch.
I can't find the damn video. So I'll find the video while we take a break, but thank you, Ron. Are there more questions?
30 questions, but yeah.
Yeah. We appreciate your time and all that. It's super interesting. So thank you again. Yeah.